I come to you with an update from the Soy-vengers. This is Content Deputy on H3, a follow-up video on the Content Cop, where iDubbbz backstabbed Ethan Klein from H3?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now normally in a Content Deputy I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods, but this video isn't going to have any of that fanfare. We're just going to get straight into it. I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act
We're cringe-maxing, we're soy-pilled.
like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that.
Why would he do that when every single person dancing behind Hassan, hitting him with the Fortnite L, was starting shit and stirring the pot? What are we talking about here? You can't Fortnite dance emote on a motherfucker and act like retaliation is in bad taste.
That because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack...
Dude, the second a fucking pipsqueak decides to step up to your boy, lasers coming out all three of my fucking eyes.
and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Hila are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity. It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude, you're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon.
Not gonna lie, this is hard to watch. I can't bring myself to care enough about this soy off.
Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now, with this recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean...
Is that a move to deflect any criticism? To wash your hands clean? They literally use charity money for a huge influencer party. I don't know about the financials or the behind the scene allocation of said funds. What I do know is there's an aura deficit.
I think it had to come to this eventually. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I can. I just...
Check Brandon Buckingham tweet. Send it to me. I'll open it up right now.
Didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second Creator Clash because I was afraid of how that would impact other people. This year I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized...
Don't be like iDubbbz. Don't make a content cop on your enemies. At this point in my life, I don't think I would ever dedicate hours upon hours of scripting, researching, and asset allocation to do a takedown on someone when it's simply beaten by just who cares, doubling down It makes me feel like the victim. Soy facing at somebody. Ah! This is why you're bad.
Like, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're gonna...
Second of all, we have no enemies at Third Eye Global. Our movement is inevitable. You're either drinking 13 beers with us or against us, but that's not my problem.
Talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're gonna have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash. It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not gonna be involved in it. Please, for...
That's the same day as Jake Paul's boxing event. I don't think they're gonna sell out. I don't think anyone's gonna go to this.
For the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some...
We also don't have enemies because we are the enemies. We are the ops. We are the villains.
Some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape.
No enemies, only unconquered assets. That's right.
The bear trap, and so I can fight. Well, that's a bad analogy. You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters, and it seems...
To be honest, I don't get it.
Seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the message, the best thing that you can do, for me, is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket, or donate to the fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well. You know, I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer. And, you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't...
Lesson in there. Many such cases. If you're gonna change, you better go all in. No circle backs.
I want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted, because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. Having said all that, Creator Clash ticket
Nietzsche wrote about that.
link down in the description. Go check it out, buy tickets, support the charity, support the fighters, and have a good-ass time.
Don't do that. Watch Philion TV on Twitch. And either myself or our CFO will welcome you to the movement.
I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan...
Let's check it out. We got a tweet. Since iDubbbz and Anissa aren't gatekeeping Creator Clash anymore, can Sam Hyde, Froggy Fresh, and I all fight on the card? Fully step away from Creator Clash, both publicly and behind the scenes, and are relinquishing ownership of the event. This decision wasn't made lightly, but it's a necessary step towards returning Creator Clash to its core purpose, bringing communities together for a night of boxing fueled by passion, discipline, and the goal of raising money for causes that matter. Since the beginning, this event has been more about than just the fights. It's been about creators pushing themselves beyond their limits. I do that on a daily basis. Why do I need an event for that? It's not my problem. Everyone else is soy. Fans rallying behind something positive and using that energy to do some good in the world. Since Creator Clash's inception, we have been able to raise meaningful funds and awareness for charities making real impact. I don't know if I even believe in charity as a concept. I want to see your actions as a person. How do we know the money is actually being used and is having a one-to-one direct impact? There's no way to know. That mission has lost focus in recent weeks, and it's clear that for the event to move forward, things need to change. We're making space for that change now. As part of the fallout, both Harley Morenstein and Lena Ayad have stepped away from their scheduled fights. While we're disappointed to lose two creators who brought so much heart to this event, we understand and respect their decisions. The fighters still in this card have been training for months in silence, in sweat, and in the shadow of everything else going on. They deserve the spotlight, not the fallout. This event was never about one person. and shouldn't be defined by internet drama or personal conflict. Holy shit, we got another one. Our hope has always been that this event could be a force for good. One night where entertainment, effort, and community come together to support causes that matter. That hasn't changed. If you felt disappointed or let down by the noise, we hear you. But we hope you'll continue to support the people stepping into the ring. They've worked too hard, and the charities we fight for are too important to let the mission get lost. Thank you for being here. We're still fighting for something bigger. Not a single person on Earth wants to see Myth or Will Neff fight. That's funny.
And are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
You underestimate my strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh!
It's just crazy that they made videos together. How are you gonna do that to your boy? YouTube is sacred.
Yahweh!
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew—
How are you gonna call somebody a bad boss when you don't work for them? The fuck? Let the employees handle it.
knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all you guys to quit and for me to just be like alone, little Jew boy alone.
To be honest, it's sad. They did things to become sensational. They've reached fame, and now they are a shell of their former selves. Nietzsche talks about this.
Like, Ethan, under a year ago, was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism. I literally have been getting this shit since the second I...
They're still fighting over sand, by the way. 2 Americans.
...step foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this, okay? So the people online, they're saying, oh, Ethan's making himself a victim, or Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism. I've done this once in my life right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
Ethan is an Israeli dual citizen, isn't he? Isn't that how that works? If you're Jewish, you can get a dual citizenship to Israel? I don't know the Hebrew word.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing it again.
I'm gonna watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
I just don't think, I feel like you're gonna get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it head on, but I just feel
Of course not. Because I know that
you're understandably upset.
You should be saying things you regret. You should be letting it fly with 0 filter.
You know, like it might be a little.
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know. This escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about. I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in
This is like two uncles fighting over sports betting teams that they're not even fans of.
calm way, because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me.
All you have to do is highlight the energy equation, okay? I've illustrated this before, but let me paint the picture for you guys again. If somebody spends all this fucking time and energy bundling it up into a ball of negativity, then holding it over their head and throwing it at your forehead, in order to weave, all you have to do is just be like, all right, bet. Nice video. Give it a thumbs up. What the fuck? You don't even have to defend yourself. Who cares? I know that there's a monetary incentive of like stepping on the gas and striking while the iron's hot and like making it a thing. But if you truly want to get the leg up from a Machiavellian perspective, just post through it. Be like, that's really gay. You just made a homosexual deep dive on me. Get off my nuts.
He's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys. I'm
just well, that's cool, bro. And you've just aura maxed. Nice.
one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit.
I'm very scared. It's terrifying out here on the internet.
And make like I just can't believe it, dude.
Should call him up.
Remember when I shat on Kenny KO, shit was gold? Well, that was because he was actually trying to defame me with fake photoshopped messages. So I had to retaliate. Also, I was a young buck back then. I think I was 19 years old. There was a certain fire, certain gusto. Jordan Peterson talks about this.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something
Spineless. Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content...
I don't even know what they're arguing about at this point. I don't know what points are being made.
Is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video, because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just...
He's got the swastika samurai sword. Look at that shit. I don't know if that was intentional, but it adds to the lore. Who the fuck are these guys?
Before doing this video, and he's holding a swastika one. I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you, even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
that's no. I don't actually think that.
Imagine if they did, though.
The chances that they did.
Imagine they're psyoping in reverse. They're like, nah, they wouldn't be that brazen to do that. But what if they were?
On purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around.
That just so happened to have a swastika as the hilt.
That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He left
the
it up.
decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in...
What's the name of the sword? I feel like it needs a crazy name.
your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done
with the swastikatana.
Nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video.
I don't crash out. I just truth nuke. There's a difference.
To suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all go through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment is...
Mid-30s to 40s. Beefing on the internet. Both millionaires.
Cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this planet needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that would be good. Because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that...
Somebody called me mentally unstable. I'd be like, you're goddamn right. Not going to a therapist. What am I, gay?
That I was seeing online with my video from Ethan.
I'm literally a man.
Neela, is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point.
Harry Potter lived under a staircase and he thugged that shit out. Figure it out.
That I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS
yes.
came to us.
So, like,
without
for a lot of
without
it-
even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with this.
I feel like I'm in an alternate timeline. It just hit me like a sack of potatoes in the forehead that these two motherfuckers are really beefing in 2025. They were part of the 2016 Edgelord Dream Team.
CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying like, it happened because of the CPS call? I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult, and number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone—
And Hassan's alt-left echo chamber isn't a cult. If anything, that's more of a cult. If anything, you've been psyoped.
watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play.
Like, H3 has fans. Hassan has loyalists. Gooners. Even worse. They have a whole branch called the Soy-letariat. H3 makes sense. He's been making content for over a decade. Original videos. Give or take. Old school YouTube type shit. Hassan comes along. Just sits on stream. What are we talking about here? He's got comrades.
Play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying like. If I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
It's all the
when
part of the same
CPS was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fuck.
Hassan is like the Pied Piper of the Funko Pop cast.
Stop. This is not true about CPS, whatever, like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting.
Dude, why can't they all just get in a room and make out already? Freud speaks of this. All this wasted energy.
Involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up, I don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm crying. On the other hand, I don't know if that's a good state to be in life.
That's that. Kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan...
That means that we have henchmen. Thugs. That's right. Vagabonds.
was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits...
I'm just a friend of the show. Everyone wants to be my friend. Sorry. Have enough of those.
Ethan and Neela, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say
like
that?
Random anonymous Redditors?
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said
So
they're
who called
primary responsible for
CPS?
harassing.
Huge day for the unemployed. I tuned in to the 5-hour shitstorm that was the debate between Ethan and Hassan. But my God, imagine sitting through the whole thing without a Giga Chad in the lower left quadrant to keep you company. Could never be me. Unironically watching it. If you weren't habit stacking and using this as white noise and fuel for yourself, you better look in the mirror. Get your priorities straight.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So I don't know.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense.
I watched it on Asmin's stream. What did I say? I said Giga Chad lower left quadrant. I didn't know Asmongold benches over 225 pounds. I didn't know he squatted over 315 ass to grass. I didn't know he deadlifted over 405. And those are rookie numbers. I hit that shit when I was 17. Maybe even 16. But I have to set the bar low, okay? For the other people to catch up. We throw plates on top of that.
Because
get your fucking numbers up, bucko! I said Giga Chad, goddammit! You're watching somebody live in their own filth? Are you kidding me? Bucko's not even cleaning his room. Step 1, first rule of life. My daughter Michaela speaks of this.
when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3...
Why would you watch other streamers cope when you can watch Third Eye Global win? It's that simple.
Stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
Phil, can't you just call Asmongold and Queso and convince these two to fix this issue? I could call Asmongold, I could call iDubbbz. I've never talked to Queso.
Child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Jeez, what can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying
to... Because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And although meanwhile he is covered in viscous, low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul smelling diarrheas.
So of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years,
this is a logical fallacy known as cherry picking.
People react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having giardia, him and his whole family having giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call because her chat was reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is concerning.
Is on her platform right now.
You should never be calling CPS over internet beef. What a bunch of losers. Well, the argument being proposed here is that it's very possible it was Ethan's own chat because there's no way to know who actually called CPS. Now, my first thought from a Machiavellian perspective would be my ops. They don't want to see me win because I do it too often. They want to slow me down because I'm competition. So of course it's the ops.
Advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from.
But it is possible that it is someone anonymous. It's somebody from his chat. We don't really know. But if we follow logic, we can infer. Her chat was literally spamming call CPS. Yeah, I'm not in Denim's chat, I'll tell you that.
By Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has...
I'm going to file a Freedom of Information Act request and get to the bottom of this.
proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live...
Let's find out their ages. I'm curious. iDubbbz is 34. Ethan Klein is 39.
Live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the...
So to answer your question, they're both in their mid-50s.
Top right. I thought these were...
No, it's
selected.
this. I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged.
Oh,
there,
really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not.
They're old enough to bench 2 plates. Let's just put it that way.
Time is not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat. But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses,
Reading the chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra.
What am I looking at? There's 9 people on screen. I was made to be a conqueror, okay? I was made to fight in the fucking Colosseum. Not react to internet slop, but here we are.
housekeeper? So now the house is just like covered in,
None of these people work out.
in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like...
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denim's herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not...
That's it. They owe 10% of their grains. Yep, they must pay the grain tax. That's right. By forcing me to subject myself to this.
condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given...
These people would be my squires. If they're lucky. They would actually have to carry equipment, so I don't know if they're capable. Maybe like the musicians play the flute on the front lines. That's about it. Theater kids. Huge drama club activity.
Given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan and
They would be serfs toiling my field.
initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you're that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything. It's part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience, is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly
Holy shit. You gotta put your glasses on. Gotta put your glasses on. I'm lost. You have astigmatism. Help me. Help me. Focus up. Focus up. Hello? Tech support? I lost my vision. I'm Helen Keller pilled. I can't see. I'm blind. I'm fucking blind. Help me. Help me. Dude. I got flashbanged by his forehead. What is this focusing on? Brother, help!
I can smell you
pooping.
This camera needs to lock the fuck in. This camera needs to lock the fuck in. This is crazy. This is crazy. Quick 2, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Dude, the camera quit its job. This is preposterous. I gotta get in here and diagnose. Just like that, we're so back! Had to hop into the mainframe. Sorry about that.
Benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts, what we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh,
And now Hila has giardia.
Shut.
Be open as
They've been talking about poop for the last 15 minutes.
possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that.
This is where you call Bill Burr gay. Stop being fucking gay, Bill. I asked you a question. You don't have to pontificate. It's a simple question. Say I don't want to talk about it. Boom. On to the next.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's like, the internet's like the worst place ever, but like, I also profit off the internet. Like,
Information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah, by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as
Bill Burr's actually the soy boy there. Keep talking about what?
anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one.
Ethan's funny sometimes. I'll give it to him.
That one and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of...
You know what's crazy? I don't have any tattoos. I'm pure. Why would you put a bumper sticker on the Mona fucking Lisa? Are you kidding me? Why would you cover the statue of David with a subligaria? You wouldn't.
Awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it
Get a tramp stamp? Yeah, I need one. What were you thinking? Heart right above my ass crack with some barbed wire in like a wreath?
sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yeah.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
What if we both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
25 each?
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them.
Yes, these two are married. Dude, marriage always makes this shit so annoying. Your wife, your husband, that's your wife. Shut up.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast...
Dude, My girlfriend comes downstairs. I show her an e-thought, a harlot, and it's like man discovering fire for the first time. I just couldn't imagine. I take the brunt, the Sisyphean boulder of being terminally online. And that is my struggle to protect my family. Imagine Sebastian being caught up in this. No shot.
We're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing-induced CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience.
What happened to iDubbbz's tooth? He's pirate pilled?
We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time, like, "Hey, dude, we should talk this out." And I was like, "I don't feel like having this conversation right now." That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me, and I told him, "Dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now."
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment,
and then
or like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the Content Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of...
Speaking of touch grass, it's my second favorite flavor and scent of Cheeky soap. Use cheeky.com/Philion, 10% off.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't. It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands. When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And being
pedophile. Pirate software is a...
Yo, Ethan's based.
Or was like weird about it. Was like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious.
High calorie individual. Doesn't even bench 225. Reeks of soy.
And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
That is the back and forth I'm describing. You might have thought we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are...
So I don't engage with all this Israel-Palestine nonsense. Both sides clutch their pearls, hurl names and insults. There's no winning. They're fighting over sand. Okay? Check back in the next 3 centuries when they finally figure it out. Oh wait, a random Yemeni missile hit another airport. Oh wait, a random AC-130 just glassed a village in Gaza. Please.
Bad friends. Well, guess what? We
Holy Land sand.
Didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend.
The audacity to think that your opinion on the matter even matters. You're nothing. You're a peon. You're a peasant. You're a U.S. citizen. Your tax dollars get sent to fucking transgender surgeries in Ghana. and Sesame Street in Afghanistan. Okay? They're funding studies of shrimp on treadmills with your tax dollars. You're funding both Ukraine and Israel. How's that feel?
And you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Hila are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us. So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine, but a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know?
Sand or no sand, they stone women to death and throw gays off buildings. Then the West wanted to remove the value of what a woman even meant. There's like a constant attack on women throughout human history. Yeah, the whole left-Muslim alliance makes zero sense, but this is what we call a Marxist power dynamic struggle. It takes the forms of various different campaigns where there's always an oppressor and a victim. And this is what these people rally behind. There's no room for nuance. It's us versus them. It's tribalistic. We are right and you are wrong. And it must feel good when you cozy up in an echo chamber and it's all your little brain is capable of thinking.
You know, you knew that you were going through a lot and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa, it's not Hassan, it's not all of these other creators that you're attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess what?
Virtue signaling is the only purpose people have nowadays, that's correct.
They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000.
Because virtue signaling gives people a sense of purpose, and a lot of people are purposeless. They have no mission, no goal, no campaign. What do you expect?
1,000 viewers, you're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this. You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is like insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen.
Are you talking about Tectone, who comes from a military family where Frogan said this about old soldiers, veterans? Let's see.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
You're in the U.S. Brave men and women have fucking died for your right to even stream. Hello?
You know? I do the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. The U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
has gotten literally straight up like a 2-week-long conquest of people calling her the worst.
So, after that clip, she then doubled down and said, based the following 24 hours. So, when you get somebody like Tectone, who I believe, I don't know anything about him, but I'm pretty sure on record he said that his family is like a military family, everybody served in some capacity, who is obviously close to that, is not going to take that lightly. So, it's just...
If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on. It's not worse than anything you've seen. How can it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
He was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like...
Does she have any fucking idea how many soldiers kill themselves because of that shit? Absolutely disgusting. Dude. I mean, I have personal experience with it. I don't know if it's directly related, but my friend who served, 25 years old. It's fucked, but there's no repercussions.
Like fucking want to like lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about specifically against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly victimizing themselves, I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just, sucking it up and taking it on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for...
I'm pretty sure, I don't know how true this is as well, Tectone got unbanned because, one, he filled out like a survey that it's like a re-education camp that these platforms utilize. Like for YouTube, I can speak, they have, if you get a copyright strike, you can fill out a couple questions to make sure you familiarize yourself with the guidelines. Same thing with Twitch. I've never had to deal with that, but there's some stipulation where it's like, if the person on record has said that they don't care about criticisms in certain regards, meaning like it doesn't bother her if somebody comments on the way she looks, then like it's permissible. I'm not the one reading into the fine text, but that's what Tectone said.
For the crew. The way that they have it set up.
Why isn't she banned? Because there is a unfair moderation system on Twitch. Certain people, without a doubt, have pull, more influence, or protected.
Is basically, if Lena were to drop out, she would lose, she would have to pay back $25,000 or something insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I want to know why Twitch does tricks for certain people. I mean, ideological agendas. That's really much, that's what it boils down to. Favoritism. Not agreeing with certain communities over others, but who's the principal or the headmaster or the teacher to decide what is permissible and what's not. Ideally, it should be Twitch. But we've seen time and time again it play out in such a way that there's clear, undeniable favoritism. Certain talking points are tolerated while others are not. It's not enforced in the same way.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get, but when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible...
They let Asman say that thing about Palestinians. He gets a 3-day ban. A chick starts having sex on stream 24 hours. They just want the engagement and clicks regardless of where they come from. And what Asman said probably could have been unpacked further. Because I know what he was trying to say. It was just visceral and in your face. Didn't really sound too kind. But I mean, falls under cultural relativism.
Situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, iDubbbz, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back to you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly. Well, fuck you. I'm going to lob it back and say, you're being irresponsible on your podcast and you're not...
He's just not eloquent enough for that dude. Needed to translate to Roach and redo that monologue. Correct.
Not taking any accountability for the shit you're putting out online. I think that's going to do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing, I will reiterate so that, you know, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely. We hope that the event is a massive success this year. We hope that all the fighters get what they wanted out of it. I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit. I'll put the link to Creator Clash down in the description if you want to support them in their mission to get creators to fight and raise money for charity. You can do that down there. I will be doing that on my own, and I hope you guys have a good time. Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you...
That's me, because I use Cheeky. With code Philion. Use cheeky.com/Philion. 10% off.
Click the like button on this video, not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically...
What charity? What are we talking about here? Charity has this all-encompassing term. A moral good. I feel like it gets a lot of people going. So I don't like it. We're doing it for charity. I would trust you more if you just said, yeah, we're doing this for fun. We're doing this for money. We're actually profiting from this, but we're putting on a banger event. Now I have to pretend to care about a random charity that's probably never going to see the money in the first place. Or at least we'll get the money. And then we'll funnel it off to the Seychelles. Or Curacao. I'm schizo ranting. That was a joke.
So that we can add a counter narrative, or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there. Because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio...
I throw pennies at homeless people. What are you doing for charity?
Like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with, like, my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein is...
Well, why is your wife on OnlyFans, bucko? Let's start there. Let's dive into the belly of the beast, shall we? Every day, hundreds, thousands of men gooning over your wife. The horror. That's a dystopian nightmare. In Gulag Archipelago, they warn of this. It's the ultimate evil, ontologically speaking. talks about this. And thus spoke Zarathustra, the will to power. Oh, I can't think of anything less powerful. It's the will to cuckoldry.
Isn't being a piece of shit. Like, sorry guys, it doesn't matter how many dislike extensions you have.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi, okay? Yeah, fuck you guys too, okay? How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
It's blatantly and obviously fucking disingenuous. This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, this is fucking insane. And, like, dangerous. He is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt.
Thank you, Ethan Klein. You are my best friend. You are the rent payer. You are the legend. Thank you, Ethan Klein. You are my best friend. You are the rent payer. You are the legend.
This is all solved by sunlight, steel, high protein diet, no seed oils, community, family time. But no, Philion and Third Eye Global are lurking in the shadows, growing in power every single day. Twitch.tv/PhilionTV.